David 2A is a Samoan and New Zealander former professional boxer. Known for his punching power, especially his left hook, he scored 16 knockout wins inside the first round, and finished world heavyweight champions John Ruiz and Michael Moorer within 30 seconds, as well as late stoppages of Oleg Maskaev and Hasim Rahman. 2A's professional career spanned 21 years, during which he challenged for the WBC, IBF and IBO world heavyweight titles. He currently resides in New Zealand and runs a boxing gym. Amateur career: in his early career, 2A trained 3 days a week at a small gym in Mangar Bridge, under boxing trainer Jerry Preston. 2A became New Zealand national heavyweight champion in 1988 at age 15. At the 1991 World Amateur Boxing Championships, he was surprisingly knocked out in the first round by three-time Olympic gold medalist Far Copyright Lik Savakubden. At age 19 he won a bronze medal at the 1992 Summer Olympics in Barcelona. He lost his semi-final to David Izon Rite, whom he would later defeat as a professional. 2A turned professional later the same year. Professional career: 2A debuted in December 1992 and soon became internationally respected for having one of the most devastating left hooks in world boxing and for his ability to end fights early and to dish out severe punishment. Of his first 27 fights, 23 were won by knockout. 2A is known for his devastating knockouts. In his 1997 fight with IBO, the two fighters combined to set the record for most punches thrown in a heavyweight fight on record. IBO won the decision, handing 2A his first pro defeat. Prior to the loss, 2A had devastating KO wins against future titleist John Ruiz and Darryl Wilson. 2A also beat David Izon and future champion Oleg Maskaev to set up the fight with IBO. After the loss to IBO, 2A took on future champ Hasim Rahman and stunningly TKO'd Rahman in the 10th round, a fight which Rahman had dominated up to that point. Rahman was stunned late in the 9th round from a punch after the bell, and never seemingly recovered, taking a pummeling in the 10th. The victory over Rahman marked the beginning of 2A's struggles with his weight. He ballooned up to 253 pounds when he defeated Obed Sullivan in 2000 by KO. Later that year, he weighed 245 pounds in the loss to Lennox Lewis. 2A was disappointing in the fight, with both fighters avoiding each other and 2A not throwing combinations. 2A lost a clear-cut decision. 2A fought for the WBC, IBF, and IBO heavyweight titles in November 2000, and went the distance in a 12-round bout, but lost on points by a wide margin to defending champion Lennox Lewis. Following the Lewis loss, 2A regained steam with a KO over Daniel Nicholson but lost by a close decision in his next fight to future champion Chris Bird. In 2002 he beat prospect Fraser Quendo and demolished Michael Moorer in his next fight with a powerful shot 30 seconds into the first round, which put Moorer out cold. In 2003 he drew in a 12-round rematch with Rahman, and following the fight his career drifted into obscurity due to promotional disputes. 2005 comeback 2A was inactive for over 2 years before he stepped into the ring on March 31, 2005 and bested Talmadge Griffiths in a 10-round bout ending the match and earning a TKO victory with 26 seconds remaining. 2A's next contest in October 2005 ended in a split decision over Sister Life with 2A dominating in the late rounds. 2A defeated Edward Gutierrez by knockout in the 4th round of a scheduled 10-rounder on July 26, 2006. The fight was held at the Manhattan Center Ballroom in New York City, and featured on ESPN2. 2A started slowly, scored a knockdown with his famous left hook in the 2nd round, and put Gutierrez down for the count in the 4th round with a combination of 2 left hooks, one to the head and the decisive one to the body. In November 2006 2A defeated Maurice Wheeler in the 7th round of a scheduled 10-rounder by knockout. 2A ended the bout with a solid left uppercut to the body which immediately sent the howling Wheeler to the canvas. 2A continued his comeback in February 2007 with a unanimous decision over Robert Hawkins in a 10-round bout. 2A ended the match being the aggressor and hurt Hawkins in both the 9th and 10th rounds with body punches, but was unable to end the match with a knockout. 2A, looking in good shape and weighing in at 237.5 pounds, was featured as the main event of a pay-per-view show on August 18, 2007 in Sandy, Utah, and ended the bout quickly with a first-round knockout of Mexican champion Saul Montana. 2A threw two powerful left hooks to the head that sent Montana sprawling to the canvas, giving 2A his sixth win in a row. 2A, again looking in good shape and weighing in at 234 pounds, fought the unheralded Cerrone Fox at the Soaring Eagle Casino, Mount Pleasant, Michigan on September 7, 2007. 2A made short work of his overmatched opponent, ending the bout at 141 of the second round. While 2A's promoter, Cedric Kushner, stated 2A was scheduled to fight an opponent on October 18, 2007, the fight never materialized. 2009 comeback. 2A fought fellow New Zealander Shane Cameron at Mystery Creek, Hamilton on October 3, 2009, with 2A knocking Cameron out 7 seconds into the second round to pick up the WBO Asia Pacific and Oriental heavyweight titles. The promoters for the fight were John McRae and David Higgins of Duco Events. The fight had been scheduled for an earlier date, but was delayed due to Cameron having surgery on a fractured hand. On March 31, 2010, 2A fought Friday Unania, winning on points after 12 rounds. The fight promoters for this fight were again John McRae and David Higgins of Duco Events. The 2A Barrett fight had been tentatively scheduled for June 26 in Sao Paulo, Brazil. However, the fight was moved to July 17 at the Tropicana Casino and Resort in Atlantic City in a bid to promote David 2A's career in the United States. At 38 years old, Monty Barrett was viewed by some as an easy opponent for 2A as he had lost his previous 3 fights. The match was a controversial draw, with 2A being knocked down for the first time in his professional career late in the 12th round. 2A fought journeyman boxer Demetrius King on March 19, 2011. 2A defeated King by unanimous decision with the scores 100-91, 100-91 and 100-90. 2A's rematch against Monty Barrett on August 13, 2011 resulted in a unanimous points decision going in favor of Barrett. The judges scored the bout 113-112, 115-112, 115-112. Despite knocking Barrett down in the final round with a left hook double right-hand combination, 2A had a somewhat subdued fight up until that point. Struggling with range and accuracy, he landed few effective shots in the early rounds, and Barrett was able to control the majority of the fight with his superior reach and a very effective jab. In December 2011, it emerged that Monty Barrett tested positive for banned stimulant methyloxanamine following a urine test after his August 13 points decision over 2A. 2A's lawyer, Blair Edwards, called for action against the 40-year-old New Yorker, requesting the return of 2A's WBO Asia Pacific and Oriental titles and the restoration of ranking points. 2013 comeback and retirement. In June 2013 it was confirmed that 2A was once again getting back into the ring. Belarusian Alexander Ustinov defeated him by unanimous points decision, following which he announced his retirement from professional boxing. Ringside Report were mixed in their evaluation of his career, referring to him as both one of the best heavyweights never to win a world title, and a disappointment and underachiever. Titles and accomplishments: Professional, 2009 WBO Asia Pacific Heavyweight Champion, 2009 WBO Oriental Heavyweight Champion, 2002 an IBF Heavyweight Champion, 1998 USBA Heavyweight Champion, 1998 IBF Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, 1996 WBC International Heavyweight Champion. Amateur, 1992 Summer Olympics Heavyweight, 1992 Oceanian Amateur Boxing Championships, 1991 World Amateur Boxing Championships, 1990 Oceanian Amateur Boxing Championships, 1988 New Zealand Amateur Heavyweight Champion. Outside the ring, on October 10, 1992, 2A appeared on the New Zealand version of the game show Wheel of Fortune. He asked for an O for Olsen, but this was heard by some as O for Awesome. He requested P when buying a vowel on the same episode. He was also heard to ask if he could buy a consonant during the same show. From 1992 to 2003, 2A was managed by former boxer Kevin Barry, who also trained him from 2001. But in 2003, 2A ended his business relationship with Barry and financial manager Martin Pugh. Though Barry accepted his dismissal as trainer, he resisted 2A's decision to end their contract, which still had 2 years to go. In 2004, 2A's accountant learned that the boxer's finances with his boxing company, Rahman Incorporated Limited, were tangled with company expenses. 2A no longer had most of his 20 million New Zealand dollars in purses from his professional matches, and important assets 2A thought he owned alone were anything but, including a piece of coastal land at Pakiri. Rahman Incorporated Limited had business expenses flowing in various directions, involving companies and clients 2A had no knowledge of. 2A's own home was purchased with borrowed money, and the boxer's purses were linked to renovation costs for Martin Pugh's property. These findings were based on documents from Pugh's offices. Court action was inevitable. In 2005 2A took Kevin Barry and Martin Pugh to court over their business arrangements. Barry and Pugh have accused 2A of manipulating them to collect revenue, yet 2A maintained that he knew little of the men's affairs and did what they told him to do out of trust. The dispute has so far given both sides legal victories. Over the issue of the coastal land property, the court ruled in favor of Barry and Pugh, since 2A failed to properly clarify his ownership over the land. On the issue of the terminated 2003 contract, the court ruled in 2A's favor, concluding he clearly owed no expenses to his former management from that contract. The courts are currently preparing to handle the other issues of the boxers' company's finances. In May 2007, Cedric Kushner, president of Gotham Boxing Incorporated and 2A's promoter, filed a $5 million lawsuit against IBF heavyweight champion Vladimir Klitschko and promoter Shelley Finkel among others, and while the lawsuit is unrelated to 2A, Kushner has stated he will drop the lawsuit if 2A is given a title bout against Klitschko in 2008, which ultimately failed to materialize. In September 2009 2A lost an aunt in the Samoa tsunami. In early October he traveled to Samoa with cousin Vaiga Tuigamala to see how they could help. David 2A has 2 children, both boys. Records: 2A has won 29 of his fights without going to the 4th round. 2 of his fights lasted less than 30 seconds, a record tied by only one other boxer, Jeremy Williams. At least 2 more of 2A's bouts have lasted under a minute, although full records of his early fights are incomplete, so he may have more short bouts. In 2003 2A was ranked 48th on the Ring's list of 100 greatest punchers of all time. While 2A received only 1 shot at a heavyweight title belt, he has won victories over fighters John Ruiz, Hasim Rahman, Fraser Quendo, Oleg Maskaev, and Michael Moorer. In popular culture, 2A is mentioned in an episode of the animated series Family Guy, when character Stewie draws 2A's likeness on a wall. Professional boxing record. References. External links: official website, professional boxing record for David 2A from BoxRec, David 2A MySpace page. Video links David 2A highlight video with 2A rap soundtrack, David 2A highlight video, Pinnacle Fight Night August 2007 pay-per-view promotional video, David 2A KO's Saul Montana, David 2A KO's Shane Cameron, Family Guy clip, 2A 0 for Awesome, 60 minutes, behind the scenes with David 2A ahead of his fight with Friday 13.